Hey there, my name is Cícero Moraes and we will continue working this surgical planing. And the last class we separated the mandible, and now we can start to do the osteotomy operations. I will select this skull and put it in this layer, and select this mandible and put it in this layer. Okay, so we have one in this, another this. If you want, you can come back in this layer with the original skull, the original bone, and move it M to this layer. Okay, so all objects we already worked is in this layer, original objects in this layer. If you have something wrong, you can go there, go here and select the object you did the something wrong. So we will come back here and we keep it in this layer H8, the skin. So we start to work with the cut, the osteotomy of the mandible. So to start to do the osteotomy, we have to go on osteotomy, and we put the chin plane. You see from right, you can or click in the numlock 3, or you can go down and click in right, front, back, right. You can use the command here. So I will put here. Oh, important thing is not you can if you want, you can not to start with the osteotomy. The most important thing now is put the anatomical points. Sorry, I forget it because I said, I'm not expert in surgical planning. I developed this add-on, but I forget something. We can start to put the points. For example, the maxilla points. I will put this point, that is the tooth number 8. This point, that's tooth number 9. I think this. I don't know. I imagine, no, this. I imagine this. I really don't know. The tooth 6. I imagine this. I imagine the 11. This. The 3. This. Okay, 14. And the palatine, more or less here. The 8 point, more or less here. For example, if you put in other point and you want to move this point, is not a problem. You can, after put it, you can move it, like here, put in other places. Okay, now we will put the nasal spine. It's important, click and orbit to see if the point is the right point, nasal spine. And the pterygoid is not a real pterygoid. We only need 2 points in the down part, in this part, to allow OrtogOnBlender do some projections in the future. So you put one point in the left and 1 point here in the right. Okay, now all points of the maxilla was put. Now we can go to mandible and put the points of the mandible. So I will start with this tooth. After this, look that you first click on the point and after click on the bottom. Okay, this point. Oops, it's not this point. This is here, 36. And this 36, because I have 2 numbers, one the international and another Brazilian numbers. And B point, I imagine more or less here. B point. If you don't have a certain, you can move it after, like I'm doing here. Okay. with G. You can see in the this part above. Okay, all mandible body was put, and now I can go to chin points, pogonion or up. Here the here the menton, and here menton left, and here menton right. Okay. Now we have the other points, but the points is soft tissue, so we have to go to the first layer. But before I put the points, we have to cut this face using the cutting circle. I will see from right, cutting circle. I will move it here. After I select the face, and I click cut to cut it. Some seconds after, click here. You have only this part of the face cut. Okay. If you want to delete this part, you can select the face and go to using the same tools you used before. Go here and click in weight paint 1 and paint this part. We can paint this part too, and we can paint this part too. And if you want to avoid to select this part, you can paint, but in this case I think it's better let this part. So you see this part was not painted, but this part is important to paint. Okay. Okay. And now you can delete blue and keep only the face. Right. Oh, this part was lost, but you can Ctrl Z and come back. Let me see. Okay. I think now delete blue. Okay. It's not perfect, but sufficient to continue work. Right. Now I will click in the LS point, that is this point. I go down until the point LS here, and PG point here. Now I can come back to the bones and put the other points. So you click here to nasion, right orbit here, orbit left here, right. The menton right is this. Oops, meatus right. Sorry. Meatus left. This. Sella turcica. I have some problems with this point because I'm not expert, but I imagine is more or less here. I will click first in this part because here we have X position. So I will see from right, and I click more or less when I imagine that is the sella turcica. And I click sella turcica. Now I come back Alt B to see the all bones, and now I will put in gonion right and gonion left. After you put all points, I will be visible the other points. We can click in checkpoints. Oh, we have a problem. Face this object face is not present. Object split because this. So we have to cut it again with the cutting circle, but I will put a little here because the name when you use the paint head paint change to object splint. So I will look object splint. So I have to cut again this object. Now it's face. When I click in check object, oops, is not present one point. That is the 43 teeth. That is this. Let me see in mandible. Oh, 43001. We had a problem here. So I have to delete it, come back to the 43 tooth, that is here. First click, and after click in the name of the object. Okay. Now I will put all visible and click on again on checkpoints, and now we click on checkpoints and nothing happens. Okay? So this was the part of put the points. I will stop the video here, and the next video we will start to do the osteotomy and cut the bones. Okay? We see again next video to work together, and bye bye. Well, bye bye, and we will see in the next video here.